Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mass Effect 2168 Belly of the Beast. I am very excited about this game. I'm very excited about this campaign. Before we go any further and introduce who we have here, I do want to point out, yes, this is a four-person party, and yes, we are starting without one. Somebody's on vacation to meet their brand new niece or nephew that was just born, and so we're celebrating life on that one. Woohoo! And so Erin will be here starting next week with her character, but in the meanwhile, we have Ollie, Frank, and Rick hanging out with us. What's up, guys? How you doing?
It's raining.
Right. It's raining. Well, you're in England, so
it's early.
Yeah, it's early because you are in Texas.
Get used to it, Frank.
Yeah. All right.
Coffee.
Yeah, I know. I actually it took me an extra minute to get out here because I went to go make myself a cup of coffee and I put the cream in, and all of a sudden all the curdled cream came to the top, and I was like, "This says November 6th. What the hell?"
Curdled cream.
Yeah.
I have no idea. My
throw away the
white
coffee.
balance on my camera and everything's just going crazy right now.
You'll fiddle with it as we go. It's not a big deal. So
Fiddle with it, Frank.
So, just as a reminder to everybody, this is the second Mass Effect campaign. The first one took place in 2164 with all humans. This was a separate campaign entirely, but in the same universe, taking place 4 years later on with all non-humans. This game is going to start up, taking place on the Citadel. And so that is where we're going to bring ourselves to, is sitting on the Citadel, in Citadel space, obviously, in Mass Effect. Before we get into this any further, I know you guys are really excited about the game. Have you had any questions or anything that popped up between when we created the characters and now? Any little tidbits we should really touch on before we go?
I can't think of anything.
Good?
Good to go, Captain.
All right, perfect. Just wanted to make sure that we're not missing out on any details. Awesome. So this game is going to start up with you guys taking beginning down in the wards district of the Citadel. This is down in the not so nice area, like the lower wards district of the Citadel.
But Scott, what is the Citadel?
What is the Citadel of Mass Effect? Okay.
What if someone doesn't know?
Okay, fair
People
enough.
watch this show who don't know Mass Effect.
I will. Thank you, Ollie. That is not bad. So, the Citadel in Mass Effect is a humongous, gigantic space station that was constructed by the Asari many years ago to unify the Asari race and for space exploration, have a hub together, so on and so forth. Later on, other races joined into the Citadel space, the area that they have control over. So you had the Solarians, the Turians, the Krogan, tons of other races joined into the space as well. They use the Citadel as kind of like their galactic hub, the galactic center point. So that's where all of the primary races will have embassies. They'll have like a lot of commerce going through there, so on and so forth. So the Citadel, it is the galactic hub in the world of Mass Effect. There you go. All right, so moving on. Down in the lower wards district of the Citadel, so it's down in like the deep, dark, dirty areas of the Citadel, is where you guys are going to be beginning of the game. As a matter of fact, you're going to be beginning in a place. A small bar, not to be confused with Flux, like the much more well-known one. This is actually a small, crappy bar by the name of Zunks. So there's X, of course, if you're doing it in English, called Zunks. So you're starting this small bar. It is a shithole. One of those places where, if you just got shot in the chest, it's probably going to take a couple hours before somebody even realizes or cares enough that you're dead, and then they'll eventually clean your body away. It is just a garbage place cantina. This is where you guys are going to begin with your characters. Now, in this shithole of a bar, I imagine the Krogan is over by the actual bar itself, having himself a very, very strong drink. Sitting over there. The Solarian, I imagine, is also sitting at the bar, but he's going to be not just kind of like by himself looking intimidating. He'll be having a nice conversation with the bartender, which we'll get to in a moment. And as for the Asari, I imagine the Asari is actually off to the side, maybe not sitting directly at the table, but taking a glance at the dancers that are over there, with curiosity at these others and their, at least the very least, their decisions that they've made in life, them being similarly aged to her. Okay, starting up, the Solarian. We're gonna go to you, Rick. You're sitting there, you've already had one drink, and you were getting another one from the bartender. And as you go to get a drink from the bartender, you see that the bartender reaches down to get a bottle, and you hear this strange noise, almost sounds like a hissing noise. And then he's like, hey, get out of here! And he like grabs something, he starts like smashing and bashing at something on the, like in the shelf inside there. And you hear this weird like whirring kind of noise, and hear something scampering off and running off to the side. And he's like shaking his head, very aggravated, as though like he just, I don't know, scared away a rat or whatever it was. And he comes over and he puts a bottle on the table, and he's like, I'll tell you, these damn things, ever since them humans came to the Citadel, it's an infestation. We used to think that remember the infestation we had beforehand? This is way worse. These stupid things that the humans brought here, these are disgusting. Can't even eat them. They taste like shit.
Infestation, you say? Curious.
Yeah, you ain't seen them around?
That, isn't it?
Not yet.
No. Oh, hold on. I'll go get one for you. And he literally like, walks away from you, and he goes around back, and you hear once again a couple of noises. You hear smashing of pots and pans and stuff like that happening from behind. And he comes back, and he's holding this straight, flattens now with like kind of like a bit of, you know, nastiness coming out of the sides of it, holding by a tail this strange looking furry four-legged creature that's just like lying there flat as he's holding it there. He's like, these things are disgusting. They breed so much. They're everywhere. They're in every hole. They're all over the Citadel. And he like throws the thing on the ground and stomps on it.
Unfortunate.
Oh. All right. And he like tells you like, give me 10 credits.
I'll pass him over the credits.
And you know, buy your drink or whatever it is, and continues on. So while you're sitting there, Mr. Solarian, sir, waiting for the contact that you had prior. So there was a person that had sent notice out to you that they were interested in offering you a job. And what kind of caught you off guard a little bit was that the contact that was setting you up with a job, something for you to do, they were telling you that you're going to be working specifically for these humans. The humans are relatively new to galactic space. They've only been around for a little over a decade, and more than that, they've only had an embassy in the Citadel for a few years. Which is very quick. Like, no race has gotten into an embassy that quickly, and da-da-da-da-da. But, so here you are with somebody setting up with a contact with these humans. So what ends up happening is while you're sitting there and enjoying your drink, you see a human who's clearly in an Alliance uniform comes in and goes up to the bar and orders himself a drink, but you don't think it's alcoholic, at least not to human physiology, and starts ordering it. Starts drinking it while very obviously looking around and taking in the sights.
I would be keeping an eye on him, but not in a way that would arouse any suspicion. Like, my Solarian in general, he'd be sitting in the corner of the bar and just, like, observing, trying to see who's acting shady, that sort of thing, and just, you know, trying to get as much information from the scenario as he can without making himself stand out in any way.
Gotcha. Cool. So he, as you're kind of like doing that and some time passes, every once in a while he goes down, he double checks his Omni tool, and he checks it several times until eventually he kind of looks around and he looks directly at you, and he gives you a look like, are you the guy?
At that point, I'll probably realize that this is probably the guy I'm here supposed to meet, and I'll just give him a slight curt nod. Barely noticeable for anyone but him, because he's literally looking at my face.
Mm-hmm. So he slides up and gets up and makes his way over to you, and goes to sit down, and he's like, "Are you?" Oh, actually, I don't even have your name in front of me. There we go. What is it? Anature, right?
I'm.
No. Where are you? Ah, here it is.
He's...
Can you do me a favor? Pronounce your names for me so I can say them correctly. Because we're all dealing with alien names here, so.
I'll give you the short version.
Yeah.
Cattle Olan.
Cattle Olan, and are you gonna go by Well, I'll just say Catalan. That's fine. And you can correct if you need to.
We'll get to that.
Ollie?
Entree.
Entree.
Yeah.
I should have known that. Entree. Like your probably person too. This is ent as opposed to treant. And Frank.
Do you wanna take a guess?
Just drag.
No, that's his last name.
Cracks.
Yes.
Cracks.
You're not
Gotcha.
shouting it though. You're doing it wrong.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But all right, cracks.
Play.
Awesome.
Drag.
So he comes over and he says, Catalan. I presume.
Yes.
Oh, good. I was told that you might be able to help me out and to come and meet with you. Mind if I? And he gestures to the seat next to you.
Go ahead.
And he sits down and he sits down at the table and he's like, so I'm here to offer you a job on behalf of the Alliance. We have a bit of a concern that's happening right now, and we don't have the extra manpower to take care of it. I was curious if you'd be willing to lend us a hand. You see, at 0600 yesterday, we had a ship just completely went dark. We are receiving no transmissions from them. We cannot find them on the scanners, long-range scanners. We've sent others that were passing by to swing through there and see if they can find them on short-range scanners, and they're not appearing. They're not appearing on them. But the problem is that they're flying so close to a star in their path that we think that's throwing off the ability to see them. So we're trying to hire a group of people to go and find this Alliance vessel.
I see. How curious.
It,
If the pay's right.
what was that?
If the pay's right.
Oh, yes, yeah. I would be willing to part way with 500 credits to you and any man that you can, or woman, that he says, kind of like looking over at, the Asari that's kind of like dancing on the table over nearby, that you happen to have work with you. Do you know
sounds
anybody
agreeable.
around here that might be interested in earning 500 credits?
Haven't made any contacts yet. Can have a look around.
He does lean in and he says, I've also been given authority to offer you and anybody who works with you some metagel.
At that point, I would visibly just not get shocked or anything, but my attention is definitely up there now. Just looking him up and down real quick, just getting a general feeling of this guy.
So it sounds like what you're trying to do is you're trying to make like an insight on this person. So why don't you do me a favor? Roll me a talk charisma check, please, and thank you.
All right.
I meant, sorry, talk wisdom.
Talk wisdom.
Or perception charisma. There we go. Head is now removed from bum. Perception charisma
Don't worry,
check.
you got it. As long as you got it eventually.
That's a shame because
Yeah.
talk was really good and perception is not going to be, but I'll roll it anyway. There we go.
All right. And 7, hey, not bad. So you think that this guy's being genuine? You think that he really just like, he got authority and so he's whispering because, like, he's not allowed to, it's the stuff's illegal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it makes complete sense that he's whispering.
Yep. So you don't think like this is some sort of setup? You don't think anything nefarious is going on, et cetera, et cetera?
Interesting. Medigel. All right.
Are you're familiar with it?
Of course I'm familiar with it.
Good. So 500 credits each plus that. You just need to go and find the vessel and, well, you need to find the vessel and there's a little bit more to it than that. But are you interested in doing the job before I continue going over details?
I would nod at him.
So when you find the vessel, assuming that the crew is still alive and everybody is still okay, and that's obviously what we're hoping for here, just to help them get up and running, send out a beacon, whatever it is, so we can make sure that we get them safely back on soil, get them safely back to their families, and make sure everything's good to go with that. If not, maybe even if you could repair the ship itself. We're just worried about the safety of the people. So if you can return the vessel, all of its belongings, the people, we'll make sure you get your credits, and we'll be square. We are willing, of course, to pay you with the manager up front, but then with the credits after everything's done.
Understandable.
So if you are interested in this, you won't be with me. There is a member of the Alliance that will be able to transport you. You don't have your own vessel, do you?
Not at present.
There is a member of the Alliance that will be able to transport you to where it is that you need to go to take care of this task, and he'll assist you with that. You can actually just meet me here. What do you say? In 4 hours, give you time to gather your group together.
Sounds good.
Okay. Some people that might be interested in this, and he kind of like does like taps on his Omni tool, like he's obviously trying to access yours or whatever, and you give him access, and he kind of like throws over onto your Omni tool a couple of like bits of information of people that are known, like warrants and stuff like that in the area, just like known people, like known mercenaries, known hooligans, just so you can kind of like look through it and see if there's anybody that catches your attention that you might be interested in having with you. 500 credits is not something to scoff at, so there's definitely going to be somebody that's interested in picking it up. Go ahead.
I would quickly flick through these as he's sending them.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking like, would there be some that catch my eye?
Oh, absolutely, no question. There are definitely a few that catch your eye. Whether or not you only have 4 hours, so like it's one of those like there's a bunch of them that catch your eye, and one of them like you looking like, oh man, this guy's amazing. He's one of the best sharpshooters around. However, I think he literally just picked up a job yesterday, and so he's not going to be back for a few more days. That's obviously not an option. So you're kind of like whittling down based off of who is available and who is ideal.
Yeah.
And you're able to do that, but he just kind of like knocks on the bar and he's like, okay, then 4 hours, we'll meet back here, and we really need to get those lives back home.
We'll get to it quickly.
Okay, and he gets up and walks away. So as he gets up and walks away, you're kind of looking through the thing, and just very easily, you do come across one profile that is very, very obvious for somebody that would be interesting for this sort of a thing. That profile happens to be that of a Krogan. And looking around, like it's one of those things where you're sitting there to yourself, and whatever your thoughts of a Krogan may be, you know of their value at the very least when you're handling dangerous situations. And you're literally kind of thinking, like, you come across a profile and you're like, haha, a Krogan. And then you look up and you literally, oh shit, it's that Krogan right there. Now, your races are so vastly different. Not every one of you can tell the nuanced differences between the other races. You know what I mean? Like when you are a Sari staring at 50 different Solarians, you're probably not going to notice all the nuanced differences between them. You're going to get kind of that all Solarians look alike, kind of not like that deep, is pretty obvious changes. However, specifically when it comes to Solarians and Krogan, you can easily pick up the nuanced differences. Your races are so incredibly entwined that you can easily pick up this guy in the picture is very definitely that guy over there. So that being said, you see your first target, the first one for you to approach, and you are welcome to do so.
Whoa, target. Whoa.
I would make a point of finishing my drink before doing so. And then I would walk over. I wouldn't tap him or anything, but I would make, like, I don't know. I'd try to catch his attention without trying to grab him or anything, because, I don't know, grabbing a Krogan randomly in a bar doesn't seem like the greatest idea to my Solarian.
Especially the size of this Krogan. Actually, but as you get up and walk over there, can you do me a favor? Can you describe Cattle for us?
Well, there's not really too much to describe. He's
Solarian.
pretty much... Yeah, well, He made a point of trying to be the Solarian. He's not a Solarian. He's just a random guy for all you know. He makes a point of trying to not stand out in a crowd or anything like that. So he's got really basic armor, no real fancy markings on it or anything. Just trying to fit in.
Okay. And as you're approaching the Krogan, could you do me a favor, Frank? Could you describe your Krogan?
Yeah. So, he's very large for even a Krogan, and that's because hey, I have that amazing strength score. But yeah, he stands heads above most Krogan with like very thick, broad shoulders, very powerful arms. He kind of has like a pot belly, but for Krogan, that's like, that's like a strength thing. I don't know why, it just is. He has what looks like bestial scars on his face. Well, going this way. Kind of squarish face. He's kind of just hunched over on the bar, one arm resting on the bar, the other holding his drink. It's probably the Bjorka or whatever it was. I looked it up earlier, which is the Krogan drink which you'd light on fire. So he's probably waiting for that to like warm up while it's on fire. And yeah, he's wearing purple armor that kind of looks lived in, like that might be the only thing he has to wear.
I mean, he's a Krogan mercenary, so that would make sense.
Yeah, they just shit in their suits anyways. So, what was I gonna say?
Save it
One
for
of
later.
the things that you saw in his quick little tidbits that you noticed was that he was a part of this Krogan has no personal what's the words I'm looking for here? There are no personal fines against this Krogan. There are no bounties against this Krogan. This Krogan actually has, we're going to say, a clean slate, despite the fact that he has ties to he has ties to an organization that completely got shut down by the
Organization.
Citadel. Yeah, he was a part of an
There's air quotes in
organization
there.
that got shut down by the Citadel authorities. However, he himself has a clean slate, which makes you, he might be amicable or whatever. So anyways, as you go up to him and you said that you get his attention, how?
I just probably like sit beside him, like not behind him, but beside him, so that he would be able to see me in his peripheral vision, and just look up at him and be like, "You looking for a job, Krogan?"
He just looks down towards the Solarian, moves his drink closer to him, just like blows the fire out, and then just like does it in one shot, and like slams it back on the counter. It's like, depends on what the job is.
It's real easy. We get some Alliance human to fly us out somewhere to check if a ship is all right.
Huh. Humans. Can they even fly?
I bloody better well hope so.
How much?
500 credits, and a little extra. At that point, I would lean in. The humans have Metagel.
He just shrugs when you say that. Like, oh, okay. Why should I care? Yeah, he looks down at the. Is it Cuddle? Cuddle?
Cattle?
Cattle.
Kind
Cattle.
of like, cows. Cattle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is cattle. What with a D?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks down at the Solarian and he shrugs and just says, "When does this ship leave?"
We meet here in 4 hours to discuss further details.
Meet here 4 hours? That's enough time. And he just orders another drink.
Nice. So he seems to be agreed to the terms of it. One of the other ones that also popped up as a point of interest happens to be another person that is in the bar at the moment, though she's kind of going about doing her own thing right now, and I imagine being very much alone. It's an Asari huntress. Now, this Asari huntress does have a couple of personal fines that have been put against her name over the years, but very, very, very minor things. Nothing that's like, oh my God, this is like a crazy outlaw. Somebody have to be worried about. Da da da. It's just typical. You can tell it's like your character has fines put on his name. It's just typical obnoxious Citadel bureaucracy that is hit her with little fines along the way. So you just know that she is a sorry huntress, and judging by looking up at her and the fact that she matches the picture and everything, you don't think she's on a job. If she was on a job, she probably wouldn't seem as, we're going to use the word relaxed.